Believe it or not, this week we are on a jazz safari. To guide us on our way, we have Julian Barrett, or Buffalo Man, as we prefer to call him, of Mighty Boosh fame, right here in the Jungle Hideout. He's going to help us understand why jazz is to be embraced, so he's kindly brought a few of his favourite tracks to demonstrate. His doubting but rakishly handsome and coiffured partner, Noel Fielding, has also joined us to offer a slightly differing perspective.
But because we're not particularly versed in the ways of jazz, we have invited our jazzpert, Ben Castle.
Give us a burst.
Holy horn section, what a show. And if that's not enough, there's also the chance to win tickets to be wined and dined at our fantastic Halloween monster mashup to be held in London on October the 28th, later in the show. And we've been keenly reading all your suggestions for our Sonic Safaris, so please keep sending them to us. We like them a lot. To queens.sixmusic@bbc.co.uk. That's queens.sixmusic@bbc.co.uk.
Now, let's find out what the Mighty Boosh boys really feel about jazz. Julian and Noel, welcome to the hut.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us. Can you talk synchronised through the whole show?
My friends. Shushar.
Thanks for joining us on the Jazz Safari. What the hell have you two been up to? It's been a nightmare trying to pin you down to get you down to the show.
Well, we've been around and about town.
Showing ourselves up
at
various venues. Yours,
recording the third series of the Boosh.
Yeah.
Not recording it, we haven't written it yet. But
Okay,
Oh, yeah, we're recording it.
Let's tell the listeners a bit about that.
Yeah.
They like to know stuff. Go on.
Can we get a secret plot preview?
What are we going to do?
We're, it's set in a shop. Weird old sort of...
second-hand shop.
Yeah, so it's going to be like open old hours, but psychedelic.
Are you going to have a matron, a large-breasted matron?
Working across the road,
Yeah, Julian's going to double up and play that character.
I'm going to stutter
and get off of himself.
And
I'm going to come in a bike with a tank top on.
Are there going to be a lot of familiar characters?
Some new characters, hopefully.
New and old.
Yeah. Maybe the crack fox.
Yeah,
an urban fox.
And a puffer jacket.
Yeah.
Did he catch the crack addiction from the crack squirrels?
He's got needles for claws and teeth.
He lives amongst the bins behind the shop.
He brings the garbage to life and it destroys London.
But we should get to the business in hand. Julian, you really love jazz, huh?
I do, yeah. And, I like it. That was, my dad was a big jazz head, so I got into it via him.
Is that what draws you to the pagan beats?
Yeah. That Charlie Mingus, my dad used to play that a lot. He was quite a violent man, Charlie Mingus.
Your dad, Charlie.
They were both at the moment.
Beat you into submission.
He used to beat me up with the Charlie Mingus record.
Beat you up, you must listen to jazz.
Beat me up with the Charlie Mingus. He put it on and then punched me.
He used to walk away from the record player and he'd
Punched
bring
me
you back.
3-4 times.
How do you think that violence manifests in his music?
His music's actually quite beautiful, some of it, but I don't know. He was renowned for sort of being quite violent. He actually did a tour and smashed up his bass on stage, and the Animals watched it and loved it. They were big fans.
What animals? Flamingos and tigers and stuff.
The Animals. The band, The Animals.
Gig in the jungle.
The band. They started doing it, and then the Who saw them, and they started doing it. So he started.
He started
smashing up instruments.
And it's just because he had a rage. He wasn't doing it as a showman. He was just furious.
Wow, that's such a great jazz fact.
Jazz fact number one.
Jazz.
Good start.
Trying to claim everything.
So the next record you've got is by a band called Acoustic Ladyland, and they actually exist in our world.
Yeah, they
in indie world a bit.
They don't exist in my world.
I don't know what doesn't exist in your world.
They do. We know them, don't we? Is this Seb with the big hair?
Seb with the
he's nice.
The huge hair, and Pete Wareham as the sax player.
Who sits in his hair?
Yeah.
So would you like to introduce this track?
Is this Thing? Yeah, this is pretty heavy. This is how heavy jazz can get.
We can take it.
Why did you pick this particular track, Julian?
Which one? Thing?
Yeah.
I think I like the. It's very sort of punky and chaotic, and I liked the fact that it's sort of not really what you imagine jazz is.
Have you seen
them
live?
I wanted to sort of change what people's perceptions of jazz would be.
That's when jazz is best, when it's not what you imagine it would be.
Yeah. What do you know? What do you know about jazz?
I know a lot more than you realise.
His character doesn't like jazz, but actually secretly Noel does. Love jazz.
Don't tell anyone. It's true though.
Have you seen
the secret jazzer?
Have you seen the band live?
Yes, I have. Yeah, quite a lot of times, like frighteningly amount.
And we've seen them just living in life, just going around.
I keep going to their gigs and it's getting a little bit embarrassing because there are too many of them.
Describe the experience.
You usually come back wet, don't you? Not sexually, like you've been varnished.
Varnish with notes.
What?
Yeah, it's sort of it's kind of interesting because they usually play if they play in a sort of indie environment, like loads of people go and they don't know what to expect, and it takes them about 5 minutes of going, "What is this? Is this jazz?" And then after a while, they've forgotten that, and everyone's dancing. And, it's good.
Have you noticed, is there a kind of difference between a jazz audience and an indie audience? I imagine that jazz audiences kind of listen more intently.
Yeah, and go
Woo!
Well, and stand at the back. They all
My
try
dad
and
used
stand
to
at the back,
embarrass
don't
me
they?
so much. That was the thing. Because when we used to go and see jazz, he used to go,
Woo!
No!
"Ow!" Woo! Like, all the time. And
In
I'm
a
like,
roll
"Oh,
neck.
shut up.
In a roll neck. I'd love to see you down in Beads in a roll neck going,
Woo! It's just, you
He still
violate
does that, doesn't he?
Yeah,
He does that at our gigs, doesn't he?
yeah, he does that.
We
It's
do
comedy.
punchlines and he goes, woo! Come on! Yeah!
We thought we'd give Julian a break and give our jazzbert, Ben,
Castle.
a
What
chance
have
at the decks.
you brought in quite a weird record for us, haven't you?
Actually, this has become my favourite type of music. It's outsider music, but this guy is Shooby Taylor, the human horn. Okay, mustn't forget that bit. He claims to sound like a saxophone with his scat singing, and I think you should decide really whether he does. But this is when I heard this, I threw away all my whole rest of my record collection because I didn't need anything. With this track is the only track I need in life.
Can you introduce it for us?
This is Shooby Taylor, the human horn.
We are Queens of Noise and we are on a jazz safari. What a scat attack. Thanks,
Oh,
Ben,
yeah.
for that
That was
track.
amazing. That's exactly how Mairead sings. Does everyone know that? I've heard it. It's exactly the same.
Because for our listeners who might think, yeah, actually, jazz is cool, but where to start? Ben's going to be giving us some saxophone pointers on the different jazz styles later in the show.
So, Julian, what do you think was the golden age of jazz? When was the best era?
I quite like
84.
yeah, I mean, I have a sort of guilty preference for sort of slightly fusiony 70s Miles Davis when he got electric kind of phase, early 70s sort
Ropey.
of style. Yeah, Weather Report, early Weather Report, that's my sort of thing, but that's a bit difficult to admit.
We had a Miles Davis and Prince collaboration.
Oh, right, from the 80s.
Yeah, and we thought actually it was kind of the perfect synergy of Julian and Noel. It was like the two beasts combined into one uber beast.
What, the artist and the small ponce?
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah.
The next band you've chosen look quite far outside the jazz world for their inspiration. The Bad Plus.
Yeah, see if you can guess what this tune is.
Okay.
Okay,
Or not, or tell them what it is.
we better play it. This is the Bad Plus. Let's see what it is. A nice jazz workout. They do original music, but certainly don't shy away from the odd cover, giving everyone from Sabbath to Aphex Twin the Bad Plus treatment. Wisely or unwisely, it's up to you.
Now, to stop us getting all confused, it is time to consult our jazzbert. Dun, dun, dun. It is Mr. Ben Castle. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
So, we want you to, show us, teach us about the jazz styles, the different styles there are out there, because I haven't got a clue, to be honest. So, the first one we would like you to do is a bit of bebop.
Bebop, okay.
Bebop, go on.
Wow, what bebop a doodah.
Controversial.
Julian, is there a style you'd like Ben to demonstrate for us?
Hardbop.
Hard bop.
It's a little bit like bebop, but with a leather jacket, really.
You've made that up.
Can you hit us with some smooth jazz?
Yeah, but you really need. This is more of a visual thing, and it's more about the perm and the vein in the neck standing up when you're doing it. But I'll
We can vouch for that.
just imagine that.
No, not like David Sanborn or anything like that. You mean like?
Well, David Sanborn, he's on the slightly cooler edge of smooth.
He's on the cusp.
But yes, this is under the cusp of smooth.
Nice facial expression.
Wow.
And finally, I'd like to hear some free jazz.
Yeah.
Yep.